Hey guys, welcome to another time of Bible teaching. We're going to be talking about the two witnesses. This is going to be a quick video, I promise. I'm not even going to be digging through the Bible. I will mention some references. You see the two witnesses in Revelation 11. Who are they? How do we know? What's Elijah and Moses? How do we know that? If you go back to Matthew 17, when the transfiguration is in the last verse of 16, Jesus said, hey, there are people here who aren't going to die until they see the Lord transfigured into the kingdom of heaven, something like that. And well, what did they see? They saw a vision of the transformation. Who was with Jesus at that time? Elijah and Moses. They're your two witnesses. How do you know that? Well, when you look in Revelation 11, what do the two witnesses do? What do they do? What do they have the power to do? They strike the world with all kinds of plagues. They're going to shut the rain off, close up the heavens so no rain will fall during their ministry. Does that sound familiar? Who stopped the rain before? No, I'm not talking about an old CCR song, Who Will Stop the Rain? A little Credence. But no, it was Elijah who stopped the rain. What else do they have the power to do? To turn water into blood. Think back to Egypt. Moses did that. Yeah, he turned water into blood. So that gives you an idea who they are. Now, does it actually have to be the physical body of Elijah and Moses, coming back thousands and thousands of years into the future, or some sort of reincarnation? No, it doesn't have to be. Lots of things it could be. It could be someone in the power of Elijah and the power of Moses, because if you understand the ministry of Jesus, if Israel had not corporately rejected Jesus, John the Baptist would have been Elijah, because he in the power of Elijah. You see that in there. It could be somebody from the bloodline. There's some possibilities as to who it could be. Now, here's the interesting thing. They have a 3.5-year ministry. Okay, and they start the beginning of tribulation. When is the beginning of tribulation? Well, everybody knows that I teach Rosh Hashanah as Rapture. It's the only day it can be. Okay. Tribulation could start on Yom Kippur, 10 days later, because tribulation is exactly 7 years. It's not 7 years and 10 days. Actually, I believe it does. Start on Yom Kippur. So if that's the case, and you go from Yom Kippur and you go 3.5 years, because they have a 3.5-year ministry before they're killed off. 3.5 years from the beginning of tribulation on Yom Kippur takes you to Passover. So they would be crucified, cut down, killed on Passover. If their bodies are on the ground 3.5 days, guess what day they're resurrected on? First fruits. Isn't that pretty cool? What are the law? Moses. And the prophets? Ezekiel. Elijah. What do they testify to? Christ. It's a picture of Christ. Burial and death, burial, and resurrection. It's pretty cool. I thought it was really cool, because I thought that I could go in and start looking at years. When is Passover? When does this whole thing line up? So, people that know and they've seen my videos, they've got to understand that I'm seriously looking at 2024 for the rapture. So that's the year I was really concerned about. So going 3.5 years in the future, I was looking at Passover for 2028. I'm like, that's on a Monday. Well, that doesn't work. Bummer. But wait, what if the barley's not Aviv? If you don't know what that means, Nisan, the month of Passover, used to be called Abib, A-B-I-B. The definition of Abib gives you the conditions for which the barley needs to be right in order to start that month. That's how you start the head of months. Okay. So if it's not Abib, you wait a month. So I'm like, oh, well, that works. That's pretty cool. And I started these charts with all these different scenarios for different years, but then something hit me. How does a month start? When two witnesses see the new moon. So we don't necessarily know when that month starts and on what day. So it could be off a couple of days. So I throw away my charts. They're useless. But I'm still looking at 2024. And I just see this as just really interesting, that it appears that the two witnesses will be cut off or crucified or killed on the same day Christ was crucified, and that they will come back to life and be resurrected again. When? On the same day that Christ was resurrected, the day of first fruits. Cool stuff. Now we're walking through the book of Revelation, another Bible teaching. We're going to get to this in a couple teachings. We're going to get to Revelation 11, and I'm going to go into a lot more detail about these two witnesses and about what's going on. Anyhow, thanks for watching. God bless you. Take care. Bye.